The government wants to ensure universal quality education, not just textbook-based education, says Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina.
আমরা সবসময় চাই যে আমরা একটা সুষম জনকল্যাণমুখী সার্বজনীন মানসম্মত শিক্ষা ব্যবস্থা করতে চাই। আর শুধু ওই কিতাবি বই পড়ে না, এই ছোট ছোট শিশুদের ভিতরে যে মেধা মনন সেগুলোও তো আমাদের বের করে আনতে হবে।
Awami League is the only political party in Bangladesh which practices democracy in all spheres, says Obaidul Qadir. Not only with India, government is working for regional connectivity, also with Nepal and Bhutan, says Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Mohammad Ali Arafat stresses the need for collective action to achieve the SDGs and transform the vision of Smart Bangladesh into reality by 2041. Flood situation continue to improve in Sylhet Division, people returning home from shelters. Israeli attacks continue in densely populated areas in the north, south and central parts of Gaza. And South Africa reached the final of the T20 World Cup for the first time, defeating Afghanistan in the first semi-final. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV and BTV World. I'm Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the detailed stories.
ভিক্ষুকের জাতের ইজ্জত থাকে না, বেশি ভিক্ষা আমি করতে চাই না। সেই জন্য তোমাদের দ্বিতীয় কাজ হবে প্রোডাকশন বাড়াও।
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has stressed the need for grooming up children with the knowledge of science and technology to make them worthy citizens so that they can conquer the moon in the future. The Prime Minister made the remarks while inaugurating the National Primary Education Week 2024 at a function with a renewed pledge to ensure quality education for children. The Prime Minister also distributed Primary Education Medal 2023 among the stakeholders on the occasion. As part of the week, a total of 126 stakeholders were honored with the medal in 18 categories as 36 students, 15 persons and 3 organizations received the medal directly from the Prime Minister. To pursue the knowledge of science and technology, the Premier said her government has already built an aerospace and aviation university and aeronautical research center to encourage the children to avail such education. The Prime Minister asked all concerned to make collective efforts to make the children skilled in all sectors that include education, sports and culture.
এই ছোট ছোট শিশুদের ভিতরে যে মেধা মনন সেগুলোও তো আমাদের বের করে আনতে হবে, তাদের সুযোগ দিতে হবে, তাদের ভিতরে যে একটা কিছু করার ক্ষমতা আছে সেটা যাতে বিকশিত হতে পারে সেই সুযোগটা সৃষ্টি করা দরকার। আর সেদিকে লক্ষ্য রেখেই কিন্তু আমরা শিক্ষার কারিকুলাম আধুনিক প্রযুক্তি জ্ঞানের মধ্যে নিয়ে আসছি। প্রত্যেক স্কুলে ইতিমধ্যে আমাদের লক্ষ্য আছে যে প্রতিটি স্কুলেই আমরা কম্পিউটার ল্যাব করে দেব। আর প্রি প্রাইমারি 1 বছরের জন্য, এখন আমরা সেটা 2 বছরের জন্য করতে চাচ্ছি। সেটা পড়াশোনা না, খেলাধুলার মধ্য থেকেই তাদের ভিতরে যে সুপ্ত মেধাটা আছে সেই মেধাটা কিভাবে বিকশিত করা যায়। আমাদের বাংলাদেশ স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ করে উঠবে, তাহলে আমাদের স্মার্ট সিটিজেন হবে, স্মার্ট গভর্নমেন্ট, স্মার্ট ইকোনমি, স্মার্ট সোসাইটি। অর্থাৎ এই যে প্রযুক্তি জ্ঞান সম্পন্ন দক্ষ জনশক্তি এই ছোট্টবেলা থেকেই, শিশুকাল থেকেই ধীরে ধীরে তারা সেইভাবে গড়ে উঠবে, দেশপ্রেমে উদ্বুদ্ধ হবে এবং দেশের উন্নয়নে তাদের চিন্তা ভাবনা তারা আরো নতুন নতুন উদ্ভাবনী শক্তি দিয়েই দেশকে সামনের দিকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাবে, সেটাই আমি চাই। কাজে আজকের শিশু আগামী দিনের নাগরিক, যারা একদিন এদেশে কর্ণধার হবে। এই শিশুদের মধ্য দিয়ে তো একদিন কেউ প্রধানমন্ত্রী হবে, মন্ত্রী হবে, বড় বড় সরকারি চাকরি করে বৈজ্ঞানিক হবে, একসময় তো আমাদের চাঁদেও যেতে হবে। সেই বিজ্ঞান সম্পন্ন জ্ঞান, সেই জ্ঞানটা আমাদের শিশুরা যাতে এখন থেকে পায় তার জন্য ব্যবস্থা করতে হবে।
State Minister for Primary and Mass Education Rumana Ali and Secretary Farid Ahmed spoke at the function. Later, a colourful cultural program was performed with the participation of children. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina enjoyed it from the audience row. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina received more than 314 crore 64 lakh as the 7th and 8th installments of loan repayment taken from the construction of the Podda Bridge. Road Transport and Bridges Minister al-Aqsa handed over a cheque of Taka 314 crore 64 lakh 86,963 Taka to the Prime Minister as the 7th and 8th installments of loan for Podda Bridge at a program at Ganabhavan today. Principal Secretary M. Tafazal Hussain Mia, Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office Muhammad Salahuddin, Press Secretary M. Naeemul Islam Khan, Finance Division Secretary Dr. M. Khairuzaman Mujumdar and other high officials concerned were present at the program. With the latest installments, the Bridges Division has so far paid a total of Taka 1,262 crore and 66 lakh. The Podda Bridge was built with own finance at a cost of over Taka 32,605 crore. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said Korea has become an extraordinary development and investment partner of Bangladesh. She said this while Chairman and CEO of Korea Export-Import Bank Yoon Hee-sung called on her at Sangsad Bhavan this evening. While briefing Assistant Press Secretary to the Prime Minister, ABM Sarwari Alam Sarkar said during the call-on, the Premier expressed gratitude to Korean government for their assistance elevated to $6 billion from approximately 300 to 400 million in 5 years. She thanked Yoon for signing the agreement on financing the construction of rail-cum-road bridge across the river Karnafuli at Kalurghat Point. Chairman and CEO of Korea Exim Bank, Yoon Hee-sung, expressed gratitude for meeting with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in person and expressed great satisfaction for his fruitful visit to Dhaka. He considered his visit to be the most exciting as he saw Bangladesh's ongoing development journey. Yoon Hee-sung reaffirmed his commitment to promoting Korean trade and investment in Bangladesh. Ambassador at Large M. Ziauddin, State Minister for Finance Wasika Aisha Khan, Principal Secretary M. Tafazal Hussain Mia and ERD Secretary M. Shahriar Qadir Siddiqui were present at the meeting. 1,631 crore Taka has been collected as toll from Podda Bridge since its inauguration. Road Transport and Bridges Minister Abdul Qadir disclosed this in the Jatiya Sangsad today. The House resumed its sitting with Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary in the chair in the evening. Abdul Qadir said in the current fiscal from 1st July to 19th June, 811 crore 57 lakh Taka has been collected as toll from Podda Bridge, 648 crore 87 lakh Taka from Bangabandhu Bridge and 11 crore 61 lakh Taka from Mukhtarpur Bridge of Munshiganj. Railways Minister Zillul Hakim informed the House that automatic train stop and protection technology is being installed for avoiding train accident. He said 121 railway stations now using computer-based interlinking system for signalling. Meanwhile, lawmakers today said the proposed budget has been placed aiming to fulfill the demand of the people. Taking part in the general discussion on the national budget for 2024-25 fiscal at the Jatiya Sangsad, the lawmakers said the proposed budget has focused on education, health, food, local industries and social security, which would improve people's life and ensure a developed society. Road Transport and Bridges Minister and Awami League General Secretary Abdul Qadir has said Awami League is the country's only political party which practices democracy at all levels in true sense and follows the country's constitution, party's constitution and rules and regulations of the Election Commission. Apart from Awami League, there is no instance of any party in the country to make such democratic practices, he mentioned. The minister said this while British High Commissioner in Dhaka, Sarah Cook, paid a courtesy call on him at Setu Bhavan in Dhaka today. During the meeting, both of them put emphasis on practicing democracy inside political parties for implementing sustainable democracy in the country. The British High Commissioner appreciated the current government's policy stance on women empowerment. The envoy also laid emphasis on inclusion of large number of women in party leadership and electing public representative. Ubaidul Qadir said Awami League is putting much importance on women's participation in party's leadership and other fields. Awami League Information and Research Secretary Dr. Salim Mahmood MP and Office Secretary Barrister Biplo Borua were present. Foreign Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood has said not only with India, the government is working for regional connectivity, also with Nepal and Bhutan. This will benefit all countries in the region, he added. The minister said this while exchanging views with journalists at the Foreign Ministry today. Dr. Hassan Mahmood said Bangladesh has long been connected by rail communications with different parts of India. Many of these communications ceased after 1965. Those are being reopened. Dhaka-Kolkata, Khulna-Kolkata rail links already exist.
বাংলাদেশ ভারতের ট্রেন চলাচল তো আছে, ঢাকা কলকাতা ট্রেন চলাচল আছে, ঢাকা খুলনা ট্রেন চলাচল আছে এবং উত্তরবঙ্গ থেকে সেটি ঢাকা হয়েই যায়, শিলিগুড়ি পর্যন্ত ট্রেন চলাচল শুরু হয়েছে এবং ৬৫ যুদ্ধের আগে আরো অনেক ট্রেন চলাচল ছিল। আমরা শুধু আসলে একটা সমঝোতা স্মারক হয়েছে এই ব্যাপারে, কোনো চুক্তি এখনো হয়নি এবং আমরা রিজিওনাল কানেক্টিভিটি নিয়ে আমরা ভাবছি যে বাংলাদেশ থেকে ট্রেন ভারতে শুধু যাবে না, বাংলাদেশ থেকে ট্রেন নেপালও যাবে, বাংলাদেশ থেকে ট্রেন ভুটানে যাবে এবং যেটি করা হোক না কেন সেটি অবশ্যই, যেহেতু আমাদের অভিজ্ঞতা আছে, সুতরাং আমরা যদি এটাকে ফার্দার এক্সপ্যান্ড করি সেটিও আমি মনে করি সবার জন্যই সেটি উপকারে আসবে, উভয় দেশে লাভবান হবে।
Replying to a question about blaming the government by BNP leader Ruhul Kabir Rizvi over the treatment of Begum Khaleda Zia at United Hospital recently, the Foreign Minister said Begum Khaleda Zia went to a private hospital voluntarily. The government is not responsible for the treatment there.
হাসপাতাল তো সরকারি হাসপাতাল না, এটা তো একটা বেসরকারি হাসপাতাল। তো অ্যাম্বুলেন্স দেওয়া না দেওয়া তো সরকারের হাতে কেন হবে? ইউনাইটেড হাসপাতালেরই তো তাদের অ্যাম্বুলেন্স আছে এবং সমস্ত কিছু তাদের আছে। ইউনাইটেড হাসপাতাল যদি না দিয়ে থাকে এটা সরকারের তো কোনো দায় নয়, এটি ইউনাইটেড হাসপাতালকে তারা বলতে পারে। মধ্যরাতে হঠাৎ বিএনপি নেতারা দেখতে পেল তাদের পদ নাই, আবার সকালবেলা দেখতে পেল অনেকে পদায়ন হয়েছে। নিজের দলে গণতন্ত্র নাই, নিজের দলটারই জন্ম হচ্ছে অগণতান্ত্রিকভাবে ক্যান্টনমেন্টের মধ্যে, তারা আবার গণতন্ত্রের কথা কি বলে? বাংলাদেশে গণতন্ত্র রক্ষা করেছে আওয়ামী লীগ এবং আওয়ামী লীগ নেত্রী জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনা। তার নেতৃত্বে বারবার শিকলবন্দি গণতন্ত্র মুক্তি লাভ করেছে। তার নেতৃত্বে আন্দোলনের কারণেই বেগম খালেদা জিয়াও মুক্তি লাভ করেছিল ১/১১ পরে।
Earlier, Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood unveiled the covers of two books. The two books are Higher Education in Bangladesh, written by Dr. Shubal Rosario, and Ami Pritilota, written by Joel Kabir. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Mohammad Ali Arafat said combined efforts are necessary to achieve SDGs and materialize the vision of turning Bangladesh into a smart country by 2041. He said this at a function organized to place the final draft of the first National Communications Strategy and Action Plan 2024-2030 on Sustainable Development Goals at a hotel in the capital today. The State Minister sought cooperations from all for raising awareness as well as increase in the involvement of people to materialize the SDGs.
The successes of our SDG agenda relies heavily on the awareness and participation of our people. An informed and engaged citizenry is we believe is the bedrock of the sustainable development. When people understand the significance of SDGs and their role in achieving them, they become active participants in the development process. First of all, we need to do a bit of a research, I believe, what kind of communication tools that we need to use. And the communication tools and the strategy needs to be customized to fit into the context, local context. And the way we want to communicate, it may not work in the rural Bangladesh. So that is very important there to understand the local context, the ground reality, and based on that, we need to craft our strategy of communication.
The function was also addressed by Chief Coordinator of the SDG Affairs at Prime Minister's Office, Mohammad Akhtar Hussain, Planning Commission member Dr. Mohammad Kausar Ahmed, and United Nations Resident Coordinator to Bangladesh, Gwen Lewis. Bangladesh Awami League submitted its financial reports for 2023 to the Election Commission at Agargaon in the capital today. An Awami League delegation led by Treasurer H.N. Ashikur Rahman submitted the party's income and expenditure report to the Election Commission. The delegation included Bangladesh Awami League Publicity and Publication Affairs Secretary Dr. Abdusaban Golab, Office Secretary Barrister Biplab Borua, and Deputy Office Secretary Saim Khan. Later, at a press briefing, Ashikur Rahman said the income of Awami League in 2023 was 27 crore 14 lakh 45,000 and total expenditure was 9 crore 87 lakh 36,000 taka.
করতে হয় নির্বাচন বাংলা নির্বাচন কমিশনে আজকে নির্বাচন কমিশন যেটা আমরা দাখিল করছি 30 জুন 23 সালের যে খরচ যে ব্যয় হয়েছে 23 সালে যে আয় হয়েছে সেই বিবরণীটা আমরা আজকে জমা দিলাম
আদেশ অনুযায়ী নির্বাচন কমিশনে নিবন্ধিত সকল রাজনৈতিক দলকে প্রতি বছর তার পূর্ববর্তী ক্যালেন্ডার ইয়ারের ইংরেজি বর্ষের আয় ব্যয়ের হিসাব দিতে হয় বাংলাদেশ আওয়ামী লীগ প্রতি বছর যথারীতি সে আইন অনুসরণ করে নির্বাচন কমিশনকে বাৎসরিক আয় ব্যয়ের হিসাব জমা দেয়
Now international news. Stage is set for first election debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, which analysts say will be a reunion of sorts, although not exactly a friendly one. A current president has never before debated his predecessor, and the bad blood between these two men will be obvious on the CNN debate stage in Atlanta. Trump never conceded the 2020 election to President Biden, and days after his supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol, he broke with tradition by refusing to attend his opponent's inauguration. The two men are now facing off again for the presidency, and this debate will mark the first time in this election campaign that millions of Americans are sitting up and paying attention. The stakes are high and the tension in the room will be a notch above past tussles as both men try to convince U.S. voters that they deserve their ballot in November. Thursday's debate will also mark the first time that Joe Biden and Donald Trump have appeared together since their debates 4 years ago. Palestinian families flee Gaza City's Shujaya neighborhood as Israeli tanks move in, Reuters reports. Gaza's health ministry says 47 Palestinians were killed and 52 wounded in the past 24-hour reporting period. Meanwhile, UNICEF Deputy Chief tells the UN Security Council in a briefing on Gaza the bodies of thousands of missing children remain buried under the rubble. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant says significant progress was made on U.S. support for Israel's force buildup and weapons supply during a U.S. trip. At least 37,765 people have been killed and 86,429 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza since October 7. The revised death toll in Israel from the Hamas-led attacks stands at 1,139, with dozens of people still held captive in Gaza. Bolivian police have arrested the leader of the apparent attempted coup hours after the presidential palace in La Paz was stormed by soldiers. Hundreds of troops and armored vehicles had taken up position on Murillo Square, where key government buildings are located. One armored vehicle smashed down the main gate of the presidential palace, allowing soldiers to enter. They all later withdrew. The rebel military leader in charge, General Juan Jose Zuniga, had said he wanted to restructure democracy and that while he respected President Luis Arce, for now there would be a change of government. He was later arrested seconds after telling reporters the military had intervened at the president's request. General Zuniga was removed from his role on Tuesday after he made inflammatory comments about Bolivia's former president Evo Morales during an interview the previous day. President Arce condemned the coup attempt, calling on the public to organize and mobilize in favor of democracy. Flood situation has improved in Sylhet, Maulvi Bazar, Sunamganj and Hobiganj as water in major rivers decreased. In Sylhet, water in Shurma and Kushiara river receded. The water of Shurma was flowing 55 centimeters below the danger mark in the district. On the other hand, 6 millimeter rain was recorded this morning. Meanwhile, 22,000 people in the district have already left shelters and 12,000 flood victims are still staying at 256 shelters. 1,026 medical teams have been providing Medicare services to the flood victims in Sylhet. In Sunamganj, water in the Shurma river was flowing 46 centimeters below the danger level in the district. Low-lying and higher areas of the district remain inundated. People started leaving shelters as the flood situation has improved in most of the areas of Sunamganj. The relief program is continuing in the district. In Maulvi Bazar, although the flood situation has improved in Maulvi Bazar, it is taking time for water to recede at Hakaluki Haur. Local administration has been distributing relief among the flood victims at shelters and flood-prone areas. In Bogura, water in all major rivers, including Jamuna in the district, has increased due to upstream water. Croplands in Dhunot and Shariakandi Upazila went under flood as water in Jamuna river increased at Bogura Point. District administration has taken various initiatives to tackle advanced floods. State Minister for Expatriates Welfare and Overseas Employment Shafiqur Rahman Chaudhary has said Dubai Taxi Corporation will take at least 2,000 workers from Bangladesh every year from now on. He said this while briefing reporters after a meeting with UAE Ambassador to Bangladesh Abdullah Ali Al-Hamoudi and Director of Dubai Taxi Corporation Nasir Muhammad Mudafa at the Expatriate Welfare Building in Dhaka today. The 16th Red Crescent Youth Chiefs Conference was held today with the aim of building young leaders to build a sustainable future. The conference was held at the national headquarters of Bangladesh Red Crescent Society in the capital. Youth chiefs of 68 units and national headquarters of the society took part in the conference. Chairman of Bangladesh Red Crescent Society, Professor Dr. M.U. Kabir Chaudhary, inaugurated the two-day conference as the chief guest. Khalid Abdullah, representative of Saudi Ambassador to Bangladesh, Isa bin Yusuf Al Duhailan, was present as the special guest. Speakers said Red Crescent volunteers have been bravely conducting humanitarian activities in any disaster of the country. And now weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or thunderstorms accompanied by temporary gust of wind is likely to occur at most places over Rangpur, Mymensingh, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions, at many places over Dhaka and Borishal divisions and at a few places over Rajshahi and Khulna divisions. Besides, moderately heavy to heavy falls likely to occur at places over the country. Night temperature may remain nearly unchanged and day temperature may fall by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius over the country, said the Met Office. And now sports news. South Africa defeated Afghanistan by 9 wickets in the first semi-finals of the ICC T20 World Cup and reached the final for the first time. Afghanistan won the toss and elected to bat first at the Brian Lara Stadium in Trinidad. However, Afghanistan's batting lineup collapsed in South Africa's bowling attack. The Afghans were bowled out for 56 runs in 11 overs 5 balls. This is the lowest score in the knockout of the T20 World Cup. Tabriz Shamsi and Marco Jensen took 3 wickets each. Kagiso Rabada and Enrich Nortje took 2 wickets each for South Africa. In reply, South Africa scored 60 runs for just 1 wicket in 8 overs 5 balls. Marco Jensen was the man of the match. India are now batting against England in the second semi-finals of the ICC T20 World Cup in Guyana. India scored 46 runs for 2 wickets in 6 overs when report last came in. Earlier, England won the toss and sent India to bat first. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. The government wants to ensure universal quality education, not just textbook-based education, says Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Awami League is the only political party in Bangladesh which practices democracy in all spheres, says Ubadul Qadir. Not only with India, government is working for regional connectivity also with Nepal and Bhutan, says Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Muhammad Ali Arafat stresses the need for collective action to achieve the SDGs and transform the vision of smart Bangladesh into reality by 2041. Flood situation continue to improve in Sylhet division, people returning home from shelters. Israeli attacks continue in densely populated areas in the north, south and central parts of Gaza. And South Africa reached the final of the T20 World Cup for the first time, defeating Afghanistan in the first semi-final. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Khuda Hafiz.